Chris, by the way, that is an OG of my prior courses and actually launched an e-commerce brand off my free content, and already hit six figures within his first year just off the free stuff. He sent me a message saying that he puts on my notifications for every time I post and just takes massive action. So, Chris, you're gonna love this. It is something that you can implement with your brand. And I saw Cherie. I know Cherie's been rocking with me for a minute. All right, so, all right, can you see my screen? Right? So what this is here, we're gonna go through our kind of $1 million holiday sale plan. And what this is inside of our group, we actually have a plan. We coach folks, and we have a plan to take a brand that's doing about 250K, 300K on a good month. We have a plan to bring them to $1 million in November. There's another brand that is doing around 30K per month, and we're bringing them to 100K per month in November. So for the past 6 weeks, I've kind of been sharing this plan with everybody in the coaching program. And this is like a 60-minute version of that. So for those of you who aren't familiar with me, I've worked with a bunch of kind of some of the favorites brands in the kind of founders of color space, from, support Black colleges to just a bunch of different brands that are popular in the space. And it's funny because what I'm about to share is not only what we figured out from our brand. My wife and I and my brother had a brand that we grew in scale to multiple seven figures and got acquired, but Shopify actually partnered with me to actually do this course. If you go to Shopify Learn, the course they asked me to do was how to grow your holiday sales. Because at the time, I had to help this guy make 170K in a week. And I made a case study about it, and Shopify picked it up and asked me to do this. So at the last time I checked, about 7,500 people went through this program, but that was over a year ago. So like 5,000 people went through it in the first year. It's probably over 10,000 people have gone through this. And this is the updated, most accurate version of this, because I couldn't share a lot of what I was doing. For people who've been following me recently, my brand got acquired. And once the brand gets acquired, you're limited to a lot of the things that you were doing until your non-compete's up. So I have some updates that I'm going to share to the Shopify strategy. But the gist of it is, my philosophy for building a seven-figure business is all about the balance of marketing, finances, and operations. We have a program called the E-commerce Blueprint, which is our blueprint for building a seven-figure brand that you could eventually sell or walk away from, that runs on autopilot. And when most people have goals, what we used to do is only focus in on marketing. And we would come up with so much cool marketing ideas that they would actually get into trouble. So for how many of you guys came on this presentation really relying on, hey, what's the marketing idea to hit these goals on Black Friday? Be real with me. How many of you guys came on to talk about a marketing plan? You drop them in the chat. Drop them in the chat. Where is the chat? There we go. How many of y'all came on here to learn marketing? We can, me. Right. I'm gonna tell you a bad story though. Drop it in the chat. What's your goal, right? What's your Black Friday, Cyber Monday goal? Drop them in the chat. Is it 10 grand, 100 grand, a million? I won't move on until everyone shares an answer. And everyone else, I'm looking at a bunch of black screens. Can everyone else turn on their camera? Please, please, please. Talking to myself is mad boring. All right, 10K would be great. 50K also, can you please make their presentation larger? I am not sure. You mean like not having the bar on the left? It looks like it's pretty full screen to me. Is it not full screen? Can someone unmute? Chris, is this not full screen?
It's not for me. It's your full screen and the presentation is in the corner.
Interesting. All right. Who just said full screen?
Natarsia, it's full screen for me.
Ashley, are you on your phone?
I am. Oh, it's full screen now.
Maybe you gotta turn your phone sideways.
It's all good. I'll figure it out.
Okay. So 50K, 10K, 100K. So we had a plan to so I had an ad agency, and the ad agency and us, we kept supporting a bunch of ecom brands. Then eventually Fresh Heritage took off, which is the name of our ecom brand, and we scaled it, and I got too busy. So I walked away from the ad agency, and Leon, my partner, continued to run it. And we continue to work with clients to scale their ecom brands. Now that we're doing this coaching program, the ad agency is now inside of the ecom blueprint. And we're able to not only just bring the best ads and emails to you guys each month, but we also can manage your ads and email and SMS campaigns too. So um, what happens is we had a client that wanted to hit a Black Friday goal of $1 million. And this isn't anything that they haven't shared publicly. So Justin came to me where they were doing like maybe 30, 40K per month, and he wanted to run ads to scale his brand. He has this clothing brand called Support Black Colleges. And I taught him the basics of ads, and he launched his first ads on Black Friday and did well. A year later, I turned him over to the agency, and the agency pretty much ran their ads and emails for the whole year, and they wanted to do $1 million in a month, and they did it. But because they were only focusing primarily on marketing, it broke their business. And so they didn't think about the finances and operations part. And they've said this publicly, so it's no longer like behind the scenes stuff, but it took them until April the following year to actually ship out some of their orders. They had hundreds of chargeback and refund requests, and they got so overwhelmed with the orders. The marketing was too good, the ads are too good, the emails are too good, that they had too much orders that they didn't anticipate for. So it took them months to actually get it out. And it actually crippled they had a bunch of bad reviews. They couldn't have, it caused them issues with getting funding. And so that was an expensive lesson for them. So when most people are only thinking about marketing, I think it would be irresponsible of me to only teach you about how to hit $1 million without first talking about the operations and finances that are required to hit it. So we're going to jump into the blueprint specifically for e-commerce, right? And so the first thing is really operations. Do you have a plan for hitting your goal? Some people just pull out that number out their butt. Like, so this brand that we're hitting $1 million with in November, they've never hit $1 million ever before. They've never even hit half of that, right? So how are we going to do that? What does the data say? Okay, well, first, how much inventory do you actually need in order to sell $1 million? So you factor in what your average order value is, how much people spend when they buy your product, and you divide that by your goal and say, all right, in order for me to hit $1 million, I need 100,000 products, right? What's the cost of those products? But not only that, you're going to discount your products. So you are going to have to factor in that you're probably going to need to sell more because you're not selling these at full price. So we started with that worksheet. Let me actually share this with you. Share my screen. I'll go through this with you. 1 second, because we like planning everything. Let me drag this back on screen. Desktop 1. So we have this kind of quick goal setting guide that is, what are your goals, your good, better, best? What are your actual offers? We're going to go through some of these, right? And what are your important dates? What are your assets needs? So this first axis of good, better, best, you really need to understand like what your conversion rate is, what Let's do exit blueprint. What is your conversion rate? How much is your average order value? And all of these things to effectively figure out what is your actual number that you have to hit. Has anyone gone through that already? I think I thought I heard someone talking. Was someone trying to say something? Tiara, is that you? All right. So we have this revenue calculator that pretty much does that for you. So if you figure out what your actual store sessions are, you plug in your conversion rate, it will tell you how many customers you need to have in order to hit your goals. So once you figure out what you actually need to do, you would plug that in, right? So that's the first step. Then the second step is, all right, you have a real plan. What's your actual dates? What's your offers, right? What is your offer going to be like? When are you going to start promoting it? And what should you be doing now to hit it? So in addition to that, do you have enough inventory? Can you ship on time? One of the founder who wanted to do $1 million, they realized that they needed way more inventory that they had in stock. The founder who wanted to do $100,000 in November realized that she was going to run out based on her current sales goals. And it was going to take 45 days to get new inventory in stock. So if she didn't order by now, she wouldn't have enough inventory to come in. So she was going to end up being in a bad scenario. Can you ship on time, right? You got to figure out if you want to do $1 million and you're currently doing 250K per month, how many more people do you need to make sure that you're sending out product in time? Are you figuring out all of that stuff? Just checking the chat. So those are all the things you need to figure out, right? And so the next thing I would say is finances. If you are going to negotiate a discount, right? Let's say you're going to come up with an offer of 40, 50% off. How do you actually come up with that number? Did you just make it up out of thin air? Did you see someone else doing it, so you're going to copy it? Have you ever tested the sale before? Look back to last Black Friday. What was your sale then? How did it perform? What are your best sales now? And then if you know that you're going to be offering a discount, have you already negotiated with your manufacturer to cut your cost of goods sold, to offset? You don't want to just have a discount just to have a discount, but then you not be making any money. I remember one of the years we had this crazy discount and I have a profit dashboard and it was going so good. And I realized I was actually losing money on the sales. I cut the sales so fast because I'm not in the business of having a screenshot to brag about when I'm actually not pocketing any money. I'd much rather, instead of making $1 million and only pocketing 50K, I'd much rather only make 300 grand but make 150K from it, right? That I can actually keep. I'm not in the business of getting screenshots and bragging. I'm in the business of actually supporting my family and moving the business forward. So make sure that your discount or your offer actually is profitable by using things like this revenue and cost of goods sold calculator and some of the other tools that are available for you. There's some apps on Shopify that are able to do that for you. The other thing is, if you negotiate your COGS, and by the way, it's very possible, the founder who is planning to hit 100K per month, that's one of her problems. Currently it's not that profitable to, and top of that, have a massive discount. So we were able to help her negotiate her terms. We have this like letter and a couple of things that you can do. There's like 10 ways to cut down your costs. We're able to get her costs from like $6.90 down to $2.30. So what that means for her is that one, before, if she had to order, let's say 10,000 units, which was her minimum order quantity, if she wanted to order 10,000 units, it would have cost her pretty much 70,000. Now she could order 10,000 units at 23,000. So she could order 3 times the amount of inventory for the same amount, or she could just keep the same number of units ordered and save about $50,000, $52,000 to be exact. So if you negotiate with your manufacturer, you are better positioned to offer a bigger discount for Black Friday without going in the hole. Does that make sense? How many of you guys have negotiated? Well, how many of you guys have put together a real plan already? Something kind of like this, where you know your best, better, and and good goals. You have your offers locked in. You know when you're gonna launch your dates, and you have your creative assets needed, like your email, your website content, your social, and your ads already going. Where are you guys at with that? 10 being, hell yeah, I got everything on lock. 1 being, I need to get my stuff together. 5 being, I'm okay. Drop it in the chat real quick. How prepared are you for this? That's honest. That's honest. Okay. And then what the 3 people on here who are participating, this presentation's for you, apparently. How many of you guys, what part are you missing? Just launched 3 weeks ago. Congrats, Ashley. What part of the plan are you missing? I gotta throw shade. I gotta keep it real. I'm not one of those people who just tell you what you need to hear, just to make you feel happy. Good, better, best. Okay, cool. That's fair. What's up, Em? So the next thing is jumping on the finance part. The main thing that most people get wrong and why they're not profitable is they offer a discount, but they don't focus on the 3 things. So one big part that I skipped is that with each category of marketing, operations, and finances, there is the foundations at the bottom of the pyramid, the strategy stuff, and tactics. Each of them have this, and within our program, we have like foundation, strategy, and tactics for each thing. And what typically happens is most of the founders, like 70% of the founders who reported to us, has self-reported that they've doubled or tripled revenue, or are at least more profitable this year. If they haven't doubled or tripled revenue, they're doing things like that founder I just talked about, that instead of paying $690 for their product, they're now only paying $230. So they're making more money on each sale, that kind of thing. The thing is, most people are looking for tactics online. So foundations are what they should be looking for, but they're skipping over that. So foundations are the basic building blocks of building any kind of business. These are the things that are long, kind of boring CEO work, but it pays. This is like that work. This has taken 2 months to follow the process to renegotiate your manufacturers so that you're saving money moving forward. So for every $100,000, they're making another $5 $5 a pop on each order. So they're making a ton of money. The strategy work, these are the things that it takes, you kind of change it once or twice per year. This is like you come up with your strategy in January, you launch it, and you kind of shift it again mid-year. And the tactics, these are the things that everyone's talking about on social. These are things that, the new reel strategy, the new TikTok hack, but you're probably going to go through these 3 to 6 times a year. The thing is, everyone tries to do this and skips this. So do you even have a plan? Do you have enough inventory? Can you ship on time? These are all foundational things. So the reason we're able to help our founders get so much results is because we always go back to the drawing board of the foundations first. And this is where you can get the most leverage. And so these are all foundational things that we're talking about. And then when we get into marketing, we could cover some of the strategy and tactics things. But I want to make sure everyone at least has their foundations, because you can double your business just by hitting foundations in all areas. So one quick way to double your business without spending any more on ads is to simply focus on the only 3 things. And so it's average order value, convert more customers, and frequency. If you increase those by only 30% each, you would double your business. Same ad spend, same marketing spend. No new list, no new app, no new social media profile. You double your business, and we've done it a bunch of times with a bunch of people. That definitely works. And so with the sale, you want to keep in mind that there's really only 3 ways to grow your business, right? It's to get more customers, to spend more with you each time they shop, and to get them to come back again. That's a foundational principle across all businesses. So what we do is, if you're going to offer a discount, you want to trade a discount to get them to spend more. So what that means is it could be as simple as the more you spend, the more you save. So instead of, like, we tested out what offers would work best for this brand. So we offered a buy anything for 25% off, and buy one, get one 50% off. So in reality, the buy one, get one 50% off, the math is exactly the same as a 25% discount, but you force them to buy more than one thing. And so it's like if you're going to give a 25% discount on a $50 item, you would just get one $50 sale at a 25% discount. But if you force them to buy two things, you're now talking about a 25% discount on a $100 order. So we like to trade discounts and offer bigger discounts the more they spend, but we like to keep it simple. So you don't want to really complicate things. So it's either like anything under $75 is 25% off. Anything over $75 is 50 or 40%. That has a bigger discount. Or just simply buy one, get one 50% off, buy two, get one free, which is really a 33% discount. So you want to just have something that offers a bigger discount the more they spend. Alex said, can I repeat those three? So I think the three things to double the business is what you're talking about. So it's if all Shopify stores, any kind of online business, if you just increase your average order value, meaning how much they spend with you each time they buy. Sorry, let me say it in order. Increase how many customers you convert by 30%. So if you were converting your website at 3%, if you just bump that up 1 more percent, your average order value, if their average is shopping $30 with you, if you just get it up $10 more to $40, and your frequency, if they buy once every year or once every 9 months, you get them to buy once every 3 months. And so if you just do those, you double your business. And Shopify has a frequency report that says on average 1.3 people buy with you. That's what you want to get to. And then the only 3 ways to grow revenue specifically is to convert more customers, get them to spend more with you when they do buy, and get them to come back and buy again. So whenever we're talking about marketing, we like to create bundles and offers that do that. So one of the things we like to do is go back and find out all your past customers who've ever bought from you on any kind of sale and try to get them to come back, and to structure your website where you convert the most of them. So when we go into marketing, we're going to go into more about that. But on the finances side, how this is important, because you don't want to just offer a discount for the sake of offering a discount. You want to offer a discount, but get them to grow your average order value. And then you want to structure your sales over the course of the holiday, not just Black Friday, so you can get your customers to come back and buy a second time if possible. So that is the second thing in foundations. And this is just what we just talked about, increasing how much they spend with you by changing your offer and making sure that you give a good offer up front, but you save your best offer for Black Friday, and or you launch something new on Black Friday. So you give people who bought from you already an opportunity to come back and buy from you a second time during the holiday. All right, cool. Checking for questions here. Inventory first could be better on marketing, but getting there. All right, bet. So now we're getting to the part that everyone's interested in, right? Interested in the marketing part. So you have to study previous data. So a lot of people were like, yeah, we're going to do this amount in our goal, our good, better, best. Then we're like, all right, cool. What'd you do last year? You want to do 100K this year. Well, what'd you do last Black Friday? I did 20 grand. Okay, well, how are you planning on doing 100 grand? That's a big jump. How many emails did you send? How many people were on your email list? What was your average order value then? So if your average order value was $100 then, but now it's only $75, that means people are spending less because of the recession. So that means you actually need more people on your list this year. Last year you did 20K, you had 5,000 people engaged on your email list. How many emails do you have now? It's a simple math. If you did 5,000 on your list to 20,000, you just need to 5x that list to go from 20,000 to 100,000 in sales. So there's really simple things you need to do to study the marketing data to make sure you're not setting yourself up for failure. And you should have been using all of October to build that up. So for example, the brand doing $1 million in November, we need to get their brand up to an additional 40,000 emails and SMS, like actively engaged. Because we studied the data from before and we realized that based on the number of emails and SMS that produce a couple hundred grand, if we simply, like, let's say we're making $2 per email during Black Friday, we simply just need to do the math to get more of those people on the list. And then we know based on our conversion rate from last year to now, it's actually up. So we actually don't even need as many people to convert them. And then we have better ways to increase our average order value. So before last year, let's say the average order value was 40 bucks. Now what we're doing stuff is more like 60 bucks, for example. So you come up with the numbers to make sure you're not just like wishing and hoping on a dream to hit your goals. You're actually like looking at the data and it supports it. And then you know what sales you ran before. For people who don't know this, what we've been doing is having them run a test sale right now. So we have them essentially run a sale at the end of last month or at the first week of this month to instead of, let's say you got 10,000 people on your list, you should just do like a flash sale to a few of them just to see how your offer. And so for that brand, we tested the one item for 25% off or buy one, get one 50% off. And we know that buy one, get one 50% off worked better for them because they were spending more. But some of the other founders in the group that launched the same test that were following along, a different sale worked better for them. For some of them, free shipping was more interesting. So you really have to know your audience and what worked well for you before, and if you have time to do a quick test now. Any questions so far? Drop them in the chat. I'm skimming the chat while I'm doing this. Cool. Looks like we're good to go. All right, so what we should be doing now. Is it too late to try these suggestions? No, it is not. Still have some time. How do you manage sales fatigue, diversified inventory? All right, cool. We're gonna by the way, who is M? Why do I feel like I know you, but I have no clue with your government code name? Who's M? Oh, okay. What's up, Emily? By the way, we're about to bring Emily on to do this presentation because she's a OG. So thanks for revealing yourself. About to bring you on to share the screen and make you a co-host. So we're gonna answer some of these questions in on the Q&A because I'm gonna get through marketing and then have some Q&A for 20 minutes. So what you should be doing right now, kind of to Shari's point, is you want to be re-engaging your audience. So like you are not during the holiday trying to go out and convince people for the very first time that your product's good, you got the social proof, you ship, the quality's good, they're gonna love it. That's not who you sell to. 80, if not 90% of your money is gonna come from a warm audience. These are past customers, people who've been following you on social, people who bought from you a year or two ago, people who are on your email list, but they never buy nothing. You should be spending your next now until you launch your holiday sale, re-engaging that old list. So this is the time to do the blast to old people and to say, hey, we got something exclusive coming up for the holidays, right? We're going to get into now like tactics and strategies of how to do that. Because these aren't things, what I'm about to share next, these aren't things that you do like all the time. These are things that you just do sparingly. So one of the things that we do, what do I have it here? So one of the things that we do under tactics is snail mail. So believe it or not, like actually shipping things out in the mail and a postcard actually works. And there's very specific things you say to get them back to your website. So we just tested it with the $1 Million a Month brand because we're going to test it heavy. We just spent $1,000 on this mail. We had a very specific offer and it got a 10 to 1 return. So for every $1,000 we're going to spend there, we're getting $10,000 back, and we messed it up. The thing that we did when people came back, they scanned the card and they came back to the website, the offer wasn't active on the site. So we learned some stuff, right? We learned that people, if we have an offer, we should have a deadline date, right? That's what we got from testing it. We should have a deadline date because people may see it and don't take action. If you have a deadline date, you got to factor in that it may take longer for some people to get it, or it may sit on in their mailbox for a while because some people only check their mail once a week because they don't get a lot of mail. So you want to make sure you have it timed right so that based on when they see it, they actually have time to use the offer. So we're doing some stuff now to warm up our audience to let them know that we got something big coming on. Voicemail surprise. This is something that is really ninja that no one's really doing. And by the way, I get a lot of my strategies from other industries that I see people doing, and I try to figure out how I can do this in ecom and just figure it out. So I get a bunch of stuff from realtors and roofing companies and all these other people, and I'm like, it's gotta work still. So testing it out, and it works. One of our founders did 300K from this nail mail tactic that we teach, but you can't use it all the time. And then voicemail surprise. I've shared this one before. I've literally been doing this for the past 3 years, and it's still a secret. What you do is you could download all your customers who bought from you in the past, or however you do it. And there's certain apps like the certain way to do it. There's apps that sync with your customer list, and you pretty much download all their phone numbers, and you would record a message, and it would just drop them into people's cell phone. So it'll be like, hey, Chris, you know about this, right? Have I shared this with you before? Yep. So it'll be like, hey, Chris, this is Gamal here, the CEO of Fresh Heritage. I was just going through my data. Well, you wouldn't say their names because it goes to, hundreds, thousands of people. So you'd say, hey, this is Gamal here, the owner of Fresh Heritage. I'm going through our past VIPs and realize that you shopped with us before, but it's been a while. We're just doing something really crazy this Black Friday, and we think you'll love it. And because you shopped with us in the past, we're just giving you an ultra exclusive discount or early access to our limited edition. We only have 100. So since I missed you, I'm just leaving you this note, and I'm going to send you a quick email with the details. Check your email if you want to take advantage of it. Sorry, I missed you. Something like that. They get a note from the CEO. You can do this at scale. You can send it to thousands of customers at once for pennies on the dollar. And it's just a way to warm up and re-engage people who probably haven't heard from you in a while. Does that make sense so far? Yes, no, maybe so, possibly.
It
Bet.
does. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Tiffany. So those are tactics and things that you could do to build up your list. A strategy and something that you do is to run a giveaway, right? This is not a sweepstake, but a giveaway. So let's say one of our founders has a skincare brand, and they are partnering with a local spa to do a one-day makeover plus their whole suite of skincare products. And you create a simple landing page using a tool called Viper. We like to use Viper. And you create a landing page, run a giveaway for 2-3 weeks, run ads to it, send your email list to it, share it on social. And when someone opts in, they get points. Whenever they share it, it tracks and gives them points. Whenever they comment under a post, it tracks them and gives them posts and points. Whenever they share it and their friends sign up, it gives them even more points. And at the end of the giveaway, you'll be able to see which person is sharing or participating more, and you select a winner and you give it to them. Why this is cool is, let's say you realize your email list is low and you need to grow it. And let's say you just have 10 people on your list. Well, if 10 people get 2 people to sign up, look how your list is screwed, right? Just by only having 10 people. If 10 people share it to 2 people each, you're winning right now. And so that's a really cool way to do that. And you're really more than 10 people are on your list. So let's say if you multiply that by hundreds or even thousands. And so we launched the giveaway for this one brand, the $1 million a month brand. We launched it for both, but the $1 million a month brand, I have the data. Within the first couple of days, we had like 1,500 people engage in it and share. We grew our social followers by 500 people, and we added about 250 people to our SMS list. And so that was first week. We didn't even launch any ads for it. So we put it out. People were adding their friends, they were commenting. So that's a great way to engage your list, to get new people to learn about it from a referral, right? It'll be like if I'm telling all of you guys, hey, I want to do this thing, you guys should do it too. It's way better than this thing cold targeting you and asking you for your email info. It's much better if a friend refers you to it. So that's a giveaway. The simpler way to do that, if you don't want to do all that, is simply to have a landing page up for 2 weeks and just email your friends or your list and run ads to your list and say, hey, would you like to get early access to our holiday sale? Black Friday starts in October. If you're interested, join the list to get notified. And you would just send it to all your old people who joined your list before, even if they're suppressed. The other thing that's interesting that you can do is if someone's already on your list, but they're just raising their hand to be notified about a certain sale, they don't even have to do anything to join that new list because you already have their information. So we're seeing 100% opt-in rate on our landing page because you don't have to send them to a new landing page. What happens is if they click a button, you can set up your email responder to automatically add them to a segment. So when you're doing this giveaway or running your ad to re-engage all your old lists, if you've ever had their email address ever, they don't have to re-add anything. They just have to click a button. So all you would do is just say, hey, if you're interested in doing it, it'll take half a second. Literally just click this button and we'll send you another email list confirming or another email confirming that you're now going to get early access. And that's cool because instead of spamming your whole list for people who aren't interested, you can start off by having quick wins and only giving your emails to people who are actually raising their hands that they want it. So those are a couple of ways to build up and launch, pre-launch. When you actually start your holiday sale, one of the important things to do is not really obsess about calling it Black Friday or Cyber Monday. Let's call it a holiday and say up to whatever the biggest discount is. Because what you don't want to do is have this very confusing, like 6 different marketing ideas and 6 different cool campaigns that you know very well because you're going to obsess over the next couple of weeks. But the average person is shopping their 5 favorite brands, their 10 favorite brands, and they're confusing you with someone else's offer. You just want to keep it very simple. And the other thing is that emails and SMSs are going to break. If you send an email, sometimes it may deliver the next day, sometimes it may deliver hours later. Sometimes the founder or the client may open it a couple of days later. So you don't want to have this deal that changes every week and then they see 50% of the email, they come to your website, now you change it to 30, and everything is confusing. So simple, and or if you, what happened to us, we forgot to change one of the flyers and one of our things, so it's confusing. So just say holiday up to whatever your biggest discount is, and just manually change all the stuff on the site as needed, and just keep the collateral simple. The other thing is on actual holiday launch, start early. Don't start on actual Black Friday. The brand that we are doing 1 million with, we're starting the second week, and the brand that we're doing 100K with, we're starting the first week of November. Save your best offer for actual Black Friday. You don't want to give your best offer outside of like late. So you don't want to give someone something and then on later they have a better offer because sometimes they'll want to refund the first thing to take advantage of the other thing. The only exception is actually on Black Friday. People know, they're trained to know that Black Friday is going to be something unique. So that's the only exception. Also, what we like to do on Black Friday is release something new or something in addition to. So it's not really like a bigger discount. It's just something that hasn't been available yet. And both of the brands were launching a new product and a new bundle on Black Friday to get people who purchased with us early in November to come back and give them a reason to buy something again. And what is the other thing? The other big thing is don't launch your ads before and pause them because Facebook is notorious for crashing during launch, and they're notorious for taking a long time to approve your ad. So sometimes if you're thinking about launching an ad the day of, by the time your ad actually gets approved, like you're at 8 p.m. at night and the day's done. So launch it before and just put it on pause. And then when you're sending text messages, don't send picture messages with really cool, cute cards and everything, because everyone's going to be sending and the data is going to be on overload for those couple of days. So that is foundations and tactics in 45 minutes. Now I'm going to open for Q&A. Feel free to drop them in the chat or unmute yourself. I'm going to go back through and see if there are any questions here. By the way, it's not too late. Tiffany, what's up, Tiff?
Yeah, I was gonna say thank you for hosting this workshop. Sure. Extremely powerful. Thank you for your expertise. Just want to say we're extremely grateful to you for doing this. I'm curious to know what marketing tools and resources have you leveraged in the past for some of the business owners that are here that are considering tools as they plan for the holiday season.
Tools as in tools to help like landing pages and things like that, or
Yeah,
apps, or
yeah.
marketing
So
platforms.
both. So I saw someone ask, do we do SMS or email capture? Someone talked about building their email list. Are there specific platforms that you found more efficient than others?
Yep. So it really depends on where your customer's at. So some people, their demographics on TikTok, some is Facebook, everything works. The main question is, where are your people hanging out, right? And so if you understand that, you should just do more of that. The other thing too is, I know we're about to come off here. I want to, there is still enough time. We have a couple minutes left. I'm going to try to answer as many questions as possible. But if anyone would love to get our support and join the group as we're executing that, hit me. I'm going to drop this link in. This, you could apply, and we'll just see if it's a good fit. The strategies that we're talking about are really for people already that number 2 and number 3 mark, like already at 6 and 7 figures. Because some of this stuff does have an investment, like the postcard thing that we're talking about. They have a minimum revenue. So some of the things we're talking about are only going to be a good fit for you if you're at that stage. But if you are, would love to support you. And for those of you who are not yet at that stage, we're going to do a lot right now to give you the tools that you can use to hit that. All right. So let me give you this quick link and then answer again about the platforms. 1 second. One second here. Let me do this. All right. So I am going to share this with you guys. If you are interested in that, just hit me up. We got a couple spots. I think we're only on 2 spots, not a whole lot. But we have a couple of spots next week for a handful of you. I think there's 2 or 3 spots available now. So I'm going to put that out there. If there's not a bunch of people on, but if 2 of you are interested, go ahead and grab that. So platforms, really just where your customers are. And then if you know where they are, do all of them. So the best apps to really do the awareness phase and build up is Klaviyo for email, but any real email platform, and having a landing page where you can, one of the mistakes people make is they send people to their website where they got a bunch of stuff, some stuff on sale, some stuff not on sale, and it's just real confusion. So any kind of landing page where clearly are outlines like, here's our sale, here's the best sellers, here's the discount, where they could just go in one place, is easy versus having people to click out and figure out which of your 20 products is on sale and where to find them and all that stuff. And then one real emergent platform now is TikTok. This is like tactics, right? It won't be the same next year, but it's currently hot now. TikTok Shop is killing it right now. You were telling me, Tiffany, that a person you know dropped a product and did like 7,500 in their first month because TikTok Shop it's an affiliate program. So you come up with a product, you share it, and then affiliates could look for the products that are trending and promote it for free. And when they promote it, their followers buy it, and they get a percentage. So you can create an audience for yourself. Like, for example, I know Edgar's in golfer, right? You could drop a product and find golfers on the platform that may have an audience, and they could promote your product and get a 20%. And so you get the sale from random strangers. So it's a great way to build awareness overnight. Also, TikTok ads, they're doing something crazy right now that if you're on their shop, they're offering a 50% discount on your stuff. So if you have a $100 item, they will give a $50 credit to the purchaser. They spend 50, but they pay you the full 100. So if your audience is on TikTok, I would definitely be doing that. That won't work forever, but that's definitely, you know, in the hierarchy, foundations, strategy, trends. This is a trend that's working, but it won't work forever. But jump on it if you have.
They're also giving
So
free credit too as well, Gamal. So if you spend, I believe it's what, 36,000 for Q4, they give you an extra, I think almost 8 grand in credits to continue.
sweet.
Yeah, and TikTok Shop will be hosting a session for this holiday webinar series. And they will be giving out exclusive credits to the Ecom House community. So make sure you guys are keeping an eye out on that. Gamal, Tiara is actually on the call right now, who tested out TikTok Shop and made about 7,500 in less than a month on just the
Let's go.
brokerage. So thanks for sharing that.
Yep. So those are two great ones if you are looking about awareness. Let's see here. Let's go through some other questions. And it looks like I just got a notification that someone just grabbed a spot. So whomever you are, looking forward to chatting with you. All right, so the next question is, where the questions go? Chat. Consistently don't feel comfortable sharing. Alex got that fresh bonnet on. Nothing wrong with that. If you won't have inventory in time for Christmas, maybe just a few weeks later, could you do a pre-sale and still take advantage of people being ready to buy? That's tricky. So I would say if you're not ready yet, there's no real advantage of it because people are expecting to buy on discount. So if you are comfortable with launching at a discount, then sure, but it's not really the best time to launch at full price, especially if people aren't going to get it by Christmas. So there are like after Black Friday, possibly because people are still in the mood, and possibly if a lot of people are interested in buying a gift for someone to get by Christmas. So the last ship date, depending on if you use the post office, it's like December 11th. If you use UPS, it's like December 14th or 15th. So you're a big product, so you're probably like UPS. So if you're getting it by then, yes. But if not, I would just say hold off. I would just use this time to build community. But it's the most expensive time to run ads, the most expensive time to get your word out. And your organic posts are going to work the least because they're going to be replacing the organic inventory with ad inventory to try to get as much of that money as possible. Not the shade. Hey, Gamo, what's up? Inventory first. Could do better on marketing, but getting there. Could you repeat those? It's too late to do any of these suggestions. Absolutely not. So the best time to do it, Shuri, would have been last month. The second best time to do it would be tomorrow. So the longer you wait, the worse it's going to be, but it's still, you still have a lot of time. Like we're working with people today. We had a coaching call today and we're working with people who are just getting around to it now. So because we're doing it with other people in the community, some of the stuff that you would have to do the test, like how did this app work, or how did the mailer work? What'd you say on it, or how did the discount work, or what offers work? That I'm telling you, you should have been doing now. Or hey, we launched this giveaway. Here's how we got the 1,500 people or the new 500 followers. You don't have to figure that out because we're already doing it. So we're already doing it and sharing it with you. So it's still a lot of time left to execute. Realistically, you know, it's October, what's today, 19th, and you have 2 more weeks in October to the first week of November and a third week. Yeah, so even if you start the week before Black Friday, you still have like 1, 2, 3, 3.5 more weeks. So you have a lot of time. How do you manage sales fatigue and diversifying inventory? Emily, what do you mean by that?
Hello. I hope I can unmute myself. So you know how you were talking about testing out a sale ahead of time? So if you're offering like these flash sales, I'm thinking, do you just offer something that you didn't offer before for Black Friday? Like, how do you avoid your customers getting into that, you know, mindset of like waiting for a discount or like sales fatigue? Like, okay, well, we saw 25% off last month. What's special about Black Friday?
100%. So good question. And context is important, which is why I said Emily could have came on and taught the program. So what we are doing is really testing out offers to a small portion of the list that's significant enough to summarize that the whole list would respond to this. So we're really just testing offers and sales ideas, not necessarily using it to generate revenue. So for example, the mailers that we did, it's for people who are like bought before Black Friday or spent over a certain amount of money or whatever. There's like a couple of categories that we classify. And let's say there's 10,000 of those people total. And we want to know what kind of value is this. We just sent it to 1,000 people. Only 1,000 out of the whole list got it. And from that, we're able to 10x our money. So now we'll be like, okay, if we sent this entire thing to the remaining 9,000 or 10,000 people and even make it better, we learn from our mistakes, we could probably 10 or 15x this. So the purpose of flash selling now is just really to see how people respond. So in October, it's probably too late to send a sale to everyone. No one's going to buy, or people who buy now won't buy again next month. The flash sale to the whole list should have been done before. But hopefully you have data around what other people are doing in your industry and what other sales worked before to launch that to a subset of your list, or just launch it in November. Good question. And to be clear, if you do a sale this month, people are probably not going to buy. They're just going to wait for your better Black Friday sale. Or if they buy now, they're not going to buy again. So we had another company did $1 million in a month too, but then they killed their business there for the next 2-3 months. They offered such a crazy deal that people just stocked up for a few months. And so if they were thinking short term, it was a great deal. Thinking long term, they screwed themselves because they sold out of everything, bought way more than they needed because they thought they were going to continue that. But then the next month, sales were like 25% of what they did this month. And it went on like that. And they had to still continue supporting the staff and stuff. So fast growth is not always great. Sometimes it's good to just have consistent, slow growth because it could kill your business on the rebound. Could you do this with the contacts in your phone? Yep, you can. Edgar, I know you read your comment earlier. You were just getting started. So like a really good CRM is Clutch. We recommend Klaviyo really, or SendLane is a little bit cheaper now. Klaviyo has been the one that we recommend, and we're becoming partners with them. So that's what we used, and that's what a bunch of people use. Some CRM to take your people from your phone into a place that you can have regular conversations with them. Cherie said you have a question. I'm not sure if it was already answered, but I'm just going in order. So if you haven't already asked, jump in.
It may not be a question that you can answer. I don't know. So we have people that buy from us because I know for the postcard idea, you said it's probably a little bit too late to do that. But so my question was more about
It's probably a little too late to test it. It's not, it's amazing to do,
yeah.
but there's no way, you can't like figure out what offer to have. You should already have the offer figured out and the design figured out and all that stuff.
Okay, so my question is a little bit more nuanced because from my understanding with the postcard idea, it has to be emails that are imported from your previous sales, correct? Or from your, okay, I guess the best question is for me just to ask it straight up. So we have a bunch of sales that come from a third party that is linked to our own Shopify. So we see the shipping addresses and everything because we have to be able to ship to them. But besides that, the sales is done on that other platform. But they have been buying our items and they buy multiple sometimes. So I want to be able to access them via postcards since we do have their address. So I'm trying to figure out what is a way in which we're able to do that because the one that we saw before the postcard, unless there's another one or if they've improved on it, it had to, whatever they were linking the information from, it would not allow me to get that segment, that group segment. I hope I made sense in that question without giving away whoever that.
Yep. So you have there's new technology. So there's
Okay.
technology who like third party companies who can give you access to that information because your address is like public record. So there's
Right.
third party apps that could say like if you have their information or some of it, they can tell you like if you have the address, they can be like, okay, this is who lives there, or if you have the name, they can be like, all right, this is their actual address. So there's
We
like
have the addresses.
yeah, so I mean you should be able to do it.
But the last I think when we tried to do it, I guess because the sale was not didn't start from
On
our
your thing.
platform. Exactly.
Do you have them in your Klaviyo? Like their
No,
emails and stuff?
no, we have it in our Shopify.
But do you have their email address?
So I don't believe we do. I think that gets blocked. I can check again because they do block certain information. It doesn't give us the address to send.
So is the purpose
Yeah.
of it also too, like this isn't legal advice, but is the purpose of that, you want
I
to
know.
make sure like you're allowed to do that too. It's not worth it if this is like in violation of some agreement, right? You don't want to
That is
like be
also,
short-sighted.
yeah.
You don't want to be short-sighted to make like a couple bucks but then lose a partner. So it may be a situation where you just invite the partner in on the idea and just say, hey, this is something that we're considering doing. We're good partners. We'd split the expense with you or what have you, and just, the one of the biggest lessons I always keep in mind is like this is a long game in entrepreneurship, right? That Chris has been rocking with me for years. He wouldn't be here again if I would have done him dirty years ago. And so it's always a long game. So
So
think
that's what
about
I
that
was
and figure out
thinking
ways
as
that we could
well.
just do win-win. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well, because of the fact that because of that very issue. So that's why I was asking that question, just to figure out whether or not that's something we can even do. But the fact that you throw out that idea too, because that's one of the downsides, is that on their platform they can do discounts on their own product, but they never do it on the third party. So I think that's a good idea where I can pitch to them that, hey, we are
I'm
giving you
open to a discount.
we're allowing y'all to give discounts on our product for this small period of time, because I think that's what probably brings down the sales or the conversion on their platform, is that if all of these is having discounts, why would you buy my product that's full price?
100%.
Yeah.
Yep. And then simpler answer to your question, if you are able to, we can 100% send it to them. Can you do it all the context in your phone, essentially capture? So Chris says, how much should we spend on ads during the Viper giveaway for 2 weeks, or should I aim for a certain number of signups? Yeah, so the signups are going to be different for each product, right? So the $1 million a month brand signups, because of her niche and stuff, their signups are like half the cost of the 100,000 per month brand. But the 100,000 per month brand has like a 3x, her average order value is 3 times more. So in both scenarios, it still makes sense. You really just have to look at, here's what we're looking at. We're looking at how much money did I make per email last year, or on average per this year. So if, we have 1,000 emails, and when we send these campaigns, we generated $10,000. That's $10 per email. So how much can I get an email for? That's interesting. And if it's less, way less than that, then for us, it makes sense. So we're trying to acquire 40,000 emails or re-engage 40,000 people in our list, as long as it's profitable. So I would just spend as much as you can profitably based on your data. And try to do it for 2 weeks based on that. So what I would say is, it doesn't, like, you got to start with your goals. So don't just try to get, whatever number of emails if it doesn't make sense to your goals. So start with that work of like, how much emails do I need to hit my goal? How much orders do I need to hit my goal? And then make sure that what you're doing can do that. The other thing with the giveaway is the flow of the giveaway is important. So it's something crazy, a big offer, and then it is email them weekly. Hey, Chris is the leader. Remember to share your giveaway. We're about to win. Here's the thing that you're going to win again. Or a matter of fact, like, here's some people using it. They love it. Here's the reviews. And then you would, when they enter, you would copy your welcome flow. So you would say, hey, by the way, Chris, thanks for joining. If you're impatient like me, you probably don't want to wait 2 weeks to take advantage of it. So for, here's a 20% discount for joining the giveaway. You can grab the item you're trying to win for free right now for 20% off. You don't need to wait 2 weeks. I know I'm impatient too, like something kind of like that. And then when you announce the giveaway and you're like, all right, Tiffany and Cherie won, congratulations. You announce the prize, you publicize it, you make people know that you're not a scam. You then email everybody and say, hey, Chris, over here at ABC Company, everybody's the winner. So you didn't win this grand prize, but I want to give you an opportunity to get the grand prize at a discount that it's never been featured at before. So here's 30% off, or you get early access to our Black Friday sale. For you get early access to our exclusives for 2 days. And then we typically see like a 30% conversion on all the people who join the giveaway who would want to take advantage of the offer of the thing that they were trying to buy. So that's what we're doing. So we're giving away something for free. And then for everyone else who didn't get it for free, we're offering an amazing, like, highest discount ever for the same thing that they wanted for free. And we're hoping that a bunch of people would want to buy it at a big discount if they wanted it for free. Make sense? Cool, we're gonna jump through a couple more of these. What's your take on participating in expos? I have never participated in an expo for our brand for the purpose of generating sales, and I made a lot of sales. But I made some amazing connections. And so if you're talking about like having a vendor booth at an expo, that it's great to make connections if it makes sense, but I would much rather spend the thousands of dollars and setup fee and booth fee and all that stuff just on some ads to get in front of my customers, or on a giveaway to get my customers. Tiffany said TikTok Boss is on right now. By the way, TikTok Boss, I don't know who you are, but shout out to you. That was amazing. And I hope you get continued success on TikTok this upcoming holiday. It was me, Khadija. Okay, dope. And Terry says, I may have missed this, had to take the dog out, but what do you think about using affiliates for everything or Amazon influencers for Amazon sales. All right, so I like affiliates it depends. I like affiliates for, we just went through this today actually, so I'll give you the 2-minute version on our coaching call today. So we have like a funnel, right? This is like a strategy thing in our marketing where we build an ambassador program. We had a product that it was beard oil for Black men and grooming products. So our products needed to be replenished every 30 to 45 days. But for people who don't have a product like that still want to engage their customers, I shared earlier, one of the things I love doing is looking at other industries and borrowing things from them and applying it to my industry. So Amazon shared a really cool lesson where at one point they realized that they were spending $10 million on marketing and $10 million on like shipping. And so they're like, what if we just paid for everyone's shipping instead of spending it on marketing? We'll see what would happen. And what happened was crazy. They offered people free shipping. And I want to, at the time, it was one thing. Tiffany probably knows better than me, but let me figure it out. Amazon Prime. So I don't know what it is right now, but at the time I checked, it's probably something like the Prime members shopped 4 times as much as a non-Prime member just by being a part of something. And so I was like, what if I did the same thing for our stuff? And so what I did was created this ambassador program, made people be an ambassador of it or affiliate influencer or whatever. And what I realized is that they would come back and buy often. We had people who bought from us 46 times. We had someone who bought from us 28 times and didn't even have a beard. They were just a part of our VIP group. And the psychology of that makes a lot of sense. It's because even like me, when I see something on where like anywhere else, I'll just come back and look for it on Prime just because all the benefits. So it like shields me from outside distraction. There's too much friction in like doing something else. And so being a part of a club has a lot of benefits. The other benefit is that you can use them and put them in a place. We use an app called Buzzvassador, but there's a bunch of things like this where you could like put them in a Facebook group, a WhatsApp group, a Telegram, a circle group, where you can have them to do stuff. So when you drop exclusives, you can drop into your group and have them review it or rate which one you should drop. If you're about to drop a holiday thing and you have a couple of designs, you can have your VIPs and your super fans vote on which one they want when you drop on your holiday sale, right? Instead of you promoting it and plastering on your page, what if you had 50 other people all at the same time talking about this brand sale? So instead of people seeing it from you, they're also seeing it from a lot of the same people in your space. Because what happened with us is we sold to high performance Black men. So a lot of the same people were following multiple influencers that were all in the same space. So on our holiday sale, they would see multiple people all drop the same information with their own code. So it just helps amplify what it is you're trying to do. So I would definitely recommend an affiliate program. If it's not for content, if it's not for amplifying your promotion, it is for getting some sales revenue from them in UGC. So I hope that was helpful, Terry. And yes, you are essentially A/B testing the offer. You're testing it to make sure you are you're going to be successful when you actually launch it for the holidays. And I believe we've gone through all the questions. So if there are no additional questions, we'll open it for some Q&A. And if there are no additional questions, we'll wrap it up. Because I got to go scoop my dog too. Any additional questions, ladies and gentlemen? We're about to do $1 million next month. We're documenting the whole thing.
Yes, we
Ask some
are.
questions. Ask some questions. This is the last shot before the holidays. All right. Seems like it's a wrap.
Well, thank you again, Gamal. Appreciate you. And we will be hearing more of you. Where can people find you? Where can the audience find you?
Good question, Tiffany.
Did you find him? Huh?
How did I find you?
Instagram. Give you my social page. That's where I'm most active on Instagram. Chris watches my free stuff and built a 400K brand this year. Chris, what are you at? Am I butchering that? Are you at 400K? Where are you at this year?
300. Hopefully, but a little bit more with Q4. We'll see. We'll see.
There you go. Off the free content. The same
And
link right
Gamal,
here.
you have a
So
program too, right? You have a program that you've recently launched. Would love for you to share a little bit about that before we hop off for anyone that's interested.
for sure. So I saw a couple people already sign up for a strategy session to see if we're a good fit to work together. Essentially, my wife and I built this business and we figured out a lot along the way, made a ton of mistakes, almost went out of business a bunch of times. But we documented everything. And when we sold, we decided to start seeing if our methods could work for other businesses. And we started helping people with this e-commerce blueprint. And I never forget this founder named Christina. She joined and she was like 400K in debt and everything. She tried a bunch of coaching programs, was in a bunch of groups, tried all the accelerators. Nothing was working, and she was thinking about shutting down her business. And she just said, "Hey, what the hell? Let me just give it one last shot." We put this on a credit card, and within the first like 45 days, last year, well, she joined last year, but the year before that, she lost like 380K, call it 400K, and the whole, just all the loans and a bunch of stuff, nothing was working. My wife and I helped her reorganize her business, and she saved about 180K for the year, so like 15 to 20K in immediate savings. And then on her third month, she tripled her revenue. She never hit 100K in sales yet. Her biggest month was like 60,000. We got her up to 180,000 in 1 month following this exact same strategy. And as a matter of fact, our event was in October of last year. So between October and her launch, she was able to implement in 3 weeks and hit 180K. And her husband came to us in our in-person event, and he was like, "Man, I just wanted to meet you in person just to say thank you. You guys saved our marriage." We had so much turmoil around finances and just it not working, and she was always busy and never present with the kids, and we haven't taken a vacation in 2 years, and so on and so forth. We're finally at a place where we see the light at the end of the tunnel. Fast forward to now, she has had multiple offers to buy her business. She's profitable. She's up. She's taken 2 vacations this past year, and she's just in a whole different space. So she is the reason that we have decided to take what we're doing to the masses. She's our best student. She implements, she trusts us, and she's an ambassador. And so we have a program that's a blueprint, all the things that we just talked about, foundations, operations, marketing. It's like an MBA program for e-commerce founders. All the things that we wish we knew when we were building our business, so that you don't have to make the mistakes. And so we coach, we bring on experts, and we literally give you everything. Today, one of our founders needed to hire someone. We had our offer letters, our interview questions, our recruiter, everything that she needed to do is just like copy and paste templates to bring on a new employee. So we have a bunch of resources from our years of building our business, and we share it with you. So if you're interested, click that link to jump on a strategy session. We'll see if you're a good fit for working with us, because we like to make sure the community is all added value and everyone is in a non-competitive space. And so that's the program. And so if you're interested in that, click there. And probably at the top of the year, we're gonna create something for people who are just getting started, is not yet at 6 figures a year, to help you scale your stuff faster. Like if Chris is able to check out our Instagram posts and hit 300K in a year, what would that look like if we had a structured program for people to do it more repeatedly in a way where we can support you more than just putting posts on Instagram? So that's it. So if you're already at 6 and 7 figures, click the link. If not, follow me on Instagram, turn on the notifications, and we'll be sure to share what we have in store for people who are trying to hit their first 10K month at the top of the year. Sounds good?
Yes,
All
sounds
right, well,
Awesome. Thank you.
all right, everyone. Have a blessed rest of your day and a very lucrative Black Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Likewise.
All right.
Take
Good
care.
night.